start with a opening statement, and then we'll open up for questions.
Well, it's a great win for us, obviously. To have Hopkins come to the Carrier Dome, rated where they were, I think it's going to do a lot for us going forward. I think we got a lot of confidence out of the game. I thought our guys did a great job this week. This is a tough week for us. It's spring break week, no classes, so it's nothing but lacrosse, and sometimes it works well for you, and sometimes it can backfire. So it went well today. I thought we were well prepared going to the game. Guys during the week would have brunch and then go right to film, spend an hour or so watching Hopkins play, and then coming to practice in the afternoons and doing some game planning against them, running our offense and our defenses. And I thought our guys understood what we needed to do going into the game, and I think it showed on the scoreboard today. We were well prepared.
Questions for Syracuse?
Coach, that first quarter, just everything seemed to go right for you. Just walk me through it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I knew offensively, we had a game plan going out there. The guys are really moving well off the ball. Anytime a team is moving like we were, all six guys, it makes it hard for a defense to focus on sliding. As a result, I think that's why we were able to put some of those goals up there. We shot well. Hopkins had some turnovers, especially in the first quarter, give us those possessions, which put more pressure on the defense.
Coach, speaking of off-ball movement, Coach Petronelli said that he thinks Luke Kennedy is the best off-ball player in the country. How do you respond?
I wouldn't disagree with him. He never stands still. He's constantly looking to backdoor his man. There's no flies on Luke. He's always buzzing around out there. So I can say that's a fair statement.
Scott, all your goals came from about 10 to 12 yards out today. Is that kind of where you feel the most comfortable there?
Yeah, I think so. Just like Coach said, with our offense, there's a lot of movement, and it seems like, with Luke being such a good off-ball player, Jojo such a good dodger and feeder, usually that leaves me in a good spot to shoot and finish from about 10 or 12 yards.
What did you go with Sean today, and how can you decide for him to start with?
I talked with Coach Rogers, and felt he deserved the opportunity, and I think he did a good job of understanding who he was covering, and it was a nice matchup. The guy had been producing all year long with his points, so it was nice to kind of take him out of the game, and he did a great job of that. Given his first start in the orange jersey, that's it's a lot to ask against a team like this and a player like that.
Sean, how did that first start feel?
I was excited and nervous at the same time, but once I settled in, it was just a game, and I just played my game.
How do you tell a kid like that, John? Tell him early in the week and let him kind of think about it, or tell him today?
How long did you want to be first told? Probably Wednesday-ish.
Midweek.
Yeah, probably Wednesday-ish. And we had to figure that it takes coaches a little while to get through all the film and watching particular players and how the team is using them within their offense. I think it was a good call. Give Coach Rogers the credit on that.
Moving forward, I imagine you get utilized a little bit more.
Yeah, we hope so. And we've seen different players out there. With Mullins out for the season, we're the last couple of games we're still trying to figure that out. But some things are starting to fall in place.
Sean, you were on Brandon Benn today a lot, and he just said that anywhere that he went, you were just constantly in his face there. What did you really see from him out there?
Well, Brandon Benn is a Canadian, great player. I just had to follow him wherever he was on the field. So every time he had to stick up, I would check his sticks to make sure he was covered at all times because he's such a great finisher inside.
What does that do for your confidence, knowing that you guys have similar style of play going up against a guy like that?
It gives me a lot of confidence because I'm used to playing people like that because I'm also Canadian, so I'm used to the quick feeds and him cutting to the ball, so it gave me a lot of confidence.
Sean, what did you see?
I just saw that Palmer and Stan would like to feed Ben a lot, so I decided to stay on the same side.
You said you're not a
Well, they look to him like we look to Committee and Maltz, and we can see in the film. Again, we had the week off from school, so it was all about lacrosse. These guys almost every day this week saw film on them for an hour or so. Even coaches are bringing cuts on their iPads to practice for guys to see characteristics of the other team. So, all you gotta do is watch him play when there's stuff in the end. He's a great finisher inside.
Any questions for Akeem or Dom?
Dom, you came in the second half. Were you prepared for that? Did you know you were going to come in the second half?
I did not. Actually, I went out to warm up just like normal. And Coach Donnie told me that I was going to go out and warm up instead. And besides not knowing before the game started, I mean, I've done that all last year. So just getting that quick little warm up with Brenny at halftime was all I really needed. I was on the sideline watching what they were doing, like I always do every game, just in case I have to go in and Bobby's hurt or anything. But when I did get the chance, I just settled down, focused, and just moved on the games, like Sean said.
So that helped you that, you're used to kind of coming in the second half last year, then?
I'd say, yeah, prepared me a little more. I knew that it was just 30 minutes left. I knew that we had the lead. I just needed to keep it at that 2-goal, obviously better lead. But yeah, I guess last year helped me a little bit.
It helped a lot. We came out hot, and you guys can, you can see the energy early on. So, with us jumping on like we did, it really helped us up the confidence.
Akeem, and for you too, Scott, there's no secret to how teams are defending you guys. They're shutting off Maltz with a shorty, and then they're putting their best pole on JoJo and then going a quick slide to him. Have you guys seen that over these first 4 games and say, hey, you're going to have to step up. We're going to get chances, or we're going to be in trouble as an offense, and you feel like you're starting to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we just try to focus on, getting good movement off ball, and like the worst of it, JoJo's a great dodger. He helps, he's been playing really well. He's got his head up every time, he makes some great feeds, and guys that are open, he's catching shooters. So, we just try to keep the movement, try to run our offense,
Obviously, you don't play on that line with JoJo, but were you starting to feel it? I mean, 3 or 4 games into the season, you hadn't scored a goal. Matt Pratt's defensive media, he's got a couple of goals, and you're starting to say, hey, I got to start getting moving.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to rush anything. Just try to keep the offense moving. We can out there, position.
John, how important was that today? You get a goal from Derek. You don't get any goals from JoJo. He has 3 assists, but when you scored 13 anyway, with guys like Scott and Hakeem and Henry all scoring goals.
Well, very important to our group. I think all year long, even last year, we haven't really relied on one player. We've asked the other guys to step up. These guys certainly got some good opportunities here to get on the field, and then knowing that JoJo's getting the attention, and they might be getting potentially the weakest defender on the field for the other team. So that we've talked about it with these guys since day one, right, guys? Since a year ago, we need to have great ability, good physical size, great quickness. Guys dodge well. I don't think anybody can cover Hopkins one-on-one on our team. And Scott's been just getting better and better. He finished the season so strong last year with a couple of goals, and last 3 games going down the stretch, maybe 3 goals in 1 game. So we just want them to kind of continue and build on it this year. I think they're stepping up, and we're starting to realize that they've got some confidence, and they can go to goal and they can make things happen.
And conversely, real quick, talked about the job that Sean did on Ben, but I mean, they've got so many players on that team. They've got the other Canadian attackmen, they've got Ranigan playing midfield, they've got John Greeley playing midfield. These guys are seniors who have been around a long time. What were you able to do as a defense you hold them to 8 goals and 3 of them are man-up goals? That's tremendous defensive performance.
Yeah, well, I think early on it was the possessions that we had. They had a couple of early turnovers, and we made the most of what we had on offense, and that was putting a lot more pressure on them to make something happen. For years, teams have been playing against us, holding the ball, trying to be patient, holding it for a few minutes at a time. When we get the ball at the offensive end of the field, we're trying to make something happen right away, or we're trying to catch up. And that's been reversed a little bit this year. We've been playing within ourselves, and we're not trying to slow it down. We know what kind of team we are. We've got to work for really good shots, and I think the guys have been playing great discipline all year long. I think so. We had 10 turnovers, and that's not a lot for against a team like Hopkins. So we keep the turnovers down. That was good for us too. And then Don coming in the second half and really got 2, 3, I think at least 3 of the one-on-one saves that would normally be goals. That was huge for us. It helped us change that 2-goal lead to a 3 and 4 goal lead.
Is that a situation where you just pushed all the right buttons today? I mean, have you been tempted to make that move in the first games and just did it today, or was there something you saw specifically?
It was just what I was seeing today, and I walked off the field, and I got with Coach Downing, and I said, we'd like to give Don the opportunity. He's, like I said, he did last year, and all our scrimmages this year, he did the same thing. He got to the second half of the scrimmages, the fourth and the fifth quarters, and he played well. And just seeing when I saw him, I know, especially in clearing situations, we're never going to give up anything with Don coming in the game. The clear has always been, very strong with him. And I said, I talked to Kevin about it. I'm just looking for a spark here, and he gave us the spark that we needed in the second half.
Last question. Can we expect Don to get in a little bit more in the rest of the season at all?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot depends on who's playing well and what the situation is in the game and what we're seeing. As I said from early on in the first press conference, we were very fortunate to have the goals